So for this mission, we got caught as soon as the mission started, but I guess that's kind of the same thing as not getting caught at all. Anyway, for this mission, we specifically have to feed characters wearing gloves. Now, I actually know where most of the characters wearing gloves are, but that's irrelevant because you can see them on your map. It's just like the mission where you have to feed only females. You know, you specifically have to feed characters with certain superficial traits, and it's not much of a challenge. It's really just, hey, this is where the characters wearing these are, get there before they pass out, or whatever. The time limit is really the biggest obstacle. You could argue this challenge teaches you more about the level layout and where the NPCs are, which you might consider very valuable, considering the final mission, just like the previous ones, is to feed absolutely fucking everyone in the level. But, you know, you already know a whole lot about the way the level's laid out. And this is because we already did a mission where you go around the entire level and get seen by everybody. The thing about this mission is I'm pretty sure everybody on this construction site should be wearing gloves, even if you have a job that does not necessitate wearing gloves. Like, let's say you're just the guy that walks around with a clipboard. Should probably still be wearing gloves just in case, you know? Now granted, I'm not up to date on safety practices or anything like that, and maybe there's a very valuable reason not to wear gloves all the time at a construction site. Like, maybe there's a legitimate reason not to do that. I can't think of any, but there might be. You know, can't rule anything out. I like how the game doesn't render things that we're not looking at, and sometimes you can see them pop in because they don't render fast enough. The game's generally very good about not letting you see things pop in, but sometimes when the camera switches too rapidly, you can still see it happen. You know, after recently playing one of Blitz Arcade's other games, SpongeBob Underpants Slam, I think this is a lot better, and I think they... mission's done. Mission complete, I already said this, but maybe take off the gloves before you consume that sandwich. This is probably the only location where being seen by 10 different people in 1 minute is genuinely an actual challenge. In any of the other maps, you're like, bam, got seen by 10 people in 3 seconds, no problem. But in this one, because you actually have to work to get places and find people, can be way harder. So, you know, getting seen by 10 people in 1 minute, genuinely difficult. I had something to say about this, and I forgot what it was. I had something else to say, but I forgot it, and I feel bad. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention I find it kind of insulting. This mission specifically says, let's just have some fun, like I wasn't already doing that. Like I didn't already find the game to be fun. Because I did, I was already enjoying myself. Game. You don't need to tell me I need to have fun for this one, I was already doing it. Did you not think the rest of the game was fun? Mission complete. Bleh. Ha! 25,000 points in 3 minutes, it says. Maybe that would be difficult for babies. But I know how to play Sneak King. I know you gotta rub your body all up against hungry people to get the maximum score. I know that you gotta use those hiding places. I know how you sneak with the best of them. 25,000 points, that's fucking nothing. Could get that in 2 deliveries if I wanted to. Fucking game thinking I don't know how to play it. I'm the best. I'm the best at Sneak King. Excuse me, ma'am. I know you're about to pass out, but let me get out of the barrel first, alright? And then you can have your sandwich. Alright, here you go. I'm glad you didn't pass out from hunger before I get out of the barrel. Oh, it's not a sandwich, it's like onion rings or chicken fries or something. Whatever, just eat it. It'll fix your hunger. Did you see that game? 20,000 points in a single delivery, and you think I'd have issue getting 25,000 points in 3 minutes. You know I've got this. You know I've been paying attention to the game mechanics. I'm your buddy. You know, talk down to the people that suck at Sneak King. There's a lot of those. You know, something I just realized about this game is it has a lot in common with collectathon games, and the fact that you can ultimately choose which challenges you want to complete before you move to the next area. Like, it does a similar kind of gatekeeping. You need to complete 10 challenges to move from one area to the next. But you can complete more if you want to, it's just not necessary. Sort of like most collectathons. Now, there are collectathons that make you 100% them, but this is not one of those. I mean, this also isn't a collectathon. It just incorporates a very similar mechanic. And you know, that's fine. Maybe you get stuck on a particular mission or find a particular mission too annoying and you don't want to do that one, you just want to move on. It's perfectly fair. Mission complete. Sir, please eat the food. Don't just go back to jackhammering. I worked hard to make that. Not exactly some high-level play required for this one, is there? Just make 5 deliveries in 2 minutes. Now granted, again, for this particular map, you do have to work a lot harder to get to people. But the timer freezes while you're actually doing the delivery, and delivering with a flourish is easier than delivering without one. So, the fact that you have to deliver using flourishes doesn't really mean anything. It's basically just make 5 deliveries in 2 minutes and don't be incompetent. Like, laughably incompetent, horribly, ridiculously incompetent. Looked like I was trying to put the sandwich directly into his belly. I think that might be going too far. I wonder how people feel about the length of this game. Like, I think 3 to 4 hours, which is what it took me to complete it, is fine for a game like this, especially since it thoroughly explores all of its mechanics. Like, I'm not sure what else you would actually want the game to do with its mechanics, outside of what it already does. But, I wonder how people feel about the game length. Like, did they think it's too short? Did they think it was too long? I guess that depends immensely on how many missions they did. Like, if they did all the missions, I think their opinion would differ vastly than if they only did, like, what was required. I personally think it's just the right length. There are some challenges here and there. Oh, mission complete. Apparently I got an achievement. I don't know how you turn those off on the 360. Now, I don't disagree that owls are more regal, but owls also tend to get seen less frequently than other animals. So I'm not sure that's a good one to go with. I get they were going for a pun there, you know, owls are spotted, but there's got to be another spotted animal that is well known for being seen and is also kingly. Now, I'm not sure what it would be. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but oh, okay, the mission's over. We did good. We did a good job. Now see, challenges like this are why I love this game. You know, you have to absolutely understand the mechanics to their fullest to fuck up the score so badly that you only get 3,000 points. Like, you have to actively try to fuck up the score. Chains are bad, flourish is bad, getting seen is good. You know, just everything's backward. But it's not like it's backwards in a way that you can't cope with, because it still relies on understanding of mechanics that you are already aware of. Like, you're using the same understanding you already have, you're just using that understanding in a different way. You're applying it in a different fashion. So this level is a very, very, very good example of the game exploring its mechanics, because, you know, as weird as it sounds, you do have to understand how the game works to get a low score, especially after you spent so long getting a high score. We already have 600 points, that's not ideal, that's a lot of points. I mean, normally it's not a lot of points, but now it is. This mission probably wouldn't be as challenging if you really sucked at the game, but it would still be challenging because 3,000 is just such an absurdly small score. It's itty-bitty. I could maybe see this mission irritating some people. They're like, why am I having to do the opposite of what the game is about? A lot of missions in this level are about that. But I think for the most part, the missions about getting seen or lowering your score help you understand the layout of the level better. And even though this mission doesn't fall into the category of teaching you about the level, it does still fall into the overarching theme of teaching you about the game design. Now, some games, it's easy to play them super badly. Like, let's say a beat-em-up was like, take this amount of damage or this many hits in this amount of time. For most beat-em-ups, you know, that wouldn't be an issue. But it's all about the complexity of the mechanics and how they're structured. And Sneak King's mechanics are structured in such a way that failing really hard is difficult. And because failing really hard is difficult, that means, intentionally or not, it's a piece of the game design, and they wanted to explore it. They wanted you to see the challenge in failing really hard. And now you do. This game is really, like, I really want a Whopper right now. This game is really making me want a Whopper at this very moment in time. Anyway, that wasn't so bad. Might have failed that one a couple times. Mission complete. Sometimes failure is like the same thing as success, you know?